Hello, good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
You are all well? As we still have around 15 minutes, then we already have Dr. Delta Artiprima. He would be the speaker for class 3. Hello, Dr. Delta. How are you?
Hello, Ade. Yeah, thank you. I'm fine. Thank you.
Thank you for your time to be one of our speakers. Then I will let Dr. Delta to test his voice and also share screen. Please, Pak.
Okay.
Guys, can you test your voice?
Okay. Can you hear me? Test.
I can hear you. Others, can you hear?
Okay.
Pak Delta? Okay, it's clear.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Let me share screen, okay?
Okay, do the share screen.
Wait.
Are you at home or in the office, Pak?
I'm in the office right now.
Oh, in the office. Okay.
Okay. Can you all of you see my slide right now?
Yes, I can.
Okay then.
Okay, cool. So we will be back in 10 minutes then. We'll start in 10 minutes, Pak.
Okay.
So if you want to do the
Thank you.
toilet break or a coffee break, please. See you guys in 10 minutes.
Thank you. Okay.
Bayanda. Jadi cultural ko na lainan mo bang ni ang theoretical man kat sudah lang. Atau bisa gumanti pa ba? Hindi JC tayo. Ikante. Yun siya pala saan ba JC tayo? Ito na, yun lang para sa atin yung alin. Isip mo tayo. Kuya, di video yun po. Ito niyo, taga Marinduque. Nakasusod pa dabo ko man eh. Kariin. Ito di most active.
Isa naman. Number
Ay, alam mo ay, hindi na ito mag-DTR, oy. Ano ni, oh?
anh đem lòng đơn phương người anh đã từng sát thương. Hôm qua chung lối, hôm nay khác thường. Ta không còn bên nhau, vậy xin đừng làm khó nhau. Người không nên nhớ sẽ tìm đâu. Khi yêu anh cứ nghĩ là anh chỉ cần cho hết đi. Cảm bao lâu em nỡ tay giờ xa thôi, từ nay đường tình ta sẽ xa như chúng mình chưa từng chung lối, xa như chúng mình chưa từng chung
Ha? Siya rin? Wala nagmayat. Namahan to nga kasto tito. Kanak. Pero pasti lang. Usahnya ubing niyo yung kabel sa bangkito. How much, nakakitaan. Hindi ko sa validate niya na ganan. Dengan ya, lang debate kayaknya deh sa validate manual.
Cũng chẳng biết khi nào đã bất chấp ra sao để trái tim anh dù cô đơn vẫn sóng trào.
Gusto.
Chẳng biết cách nuông chiều, chẳng làm sao để hiểu tình cách em nhiều.
663. Naman
Nếu mai có xa rời, thật tâm anh chỉ mong
Ayun.
Good morning, everyone. We are back. How are you? We are about to enter our class 3. As yesterday, we already learned from the two excellent speakers about COVID-19 from medical and also from the scientific knowledge. Then today, we are moving to discuss about technology, because nowadays technology is inseparable from our daily life, including when we are now facing the COVID-19. We believe that technology will somehow contribute or help or support us in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Because of that, today I invited one of the informatics engineering lecturers, and he will talk about the Internet of Things. I believe some of you ever heard about Internet of Things. For example, like our mobile phone is one of the example of of the Internet of Things. So it is about connecting a gadget into the internet and make and contribute data. Then I invite Dr. Delta Adiprima. He is one of the young Ubaya doctor lecturer. And good morning, Dr. Delta Adiprima. How are you today?
Good morning, Mr. Adi. Yes, thank you. I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
Thank you. Then, just for your information, around 140 participants from 10 countries registered for our summer program, Pak.
Wow, great numbers.
Thank you. And then, even though some of them are not able to join because of their classes, but it's fine because we also have a live stream YouTube.
Okay.
For those who are not able to join the program or the class real time.
No problems.
Okay. Then before I give the time for Pak Delta, let me tell you about his resume or curriculum vitae. So his name is Dr. Delta Adiprima. He has a Bachelor of Engineering and Master of Engineering. and MTC and AMTCRA, the 2 degrees. Then he graduated first from Diploma 4 of Informatics Engineering from Polytechnic Elektronika Negeri Surabaya, or State Polytechnic of Electronics in Surabaya. And he took his Master of Electrical Engineering on Institute of Technology 10 November, one of the best universities in Indonesia and one of the biggest. He also graduated from Institute Technology 10 November for his doctoral degree on electrical engineering. And he also, during his doctorate degree, he also joined or took joint degree on electrical engineering and computer science in Kumamoto University, Japan. So we also have few participants from Japan. If you want to talk with Pak Delta, it's also fine in Japanese. Then his research area is virtual cinematography. So he loves movie, I think. Then multimedia intelligent computing and computer vision. He also active in publishing. The 3 latest one was the crowdfunding in digital humanities, some evidence from Indonesian social enterprises, published on the ASLIP Journal of Information Management this year. Then the second latest one was Surabaya Heroes Monument Topographic Data Acquisition. So Heroes Monument, tomorrow I will show you how does it look like. That is one of the iconic places in Surabaya. And for this publication was published on the proceedings of the International Seminar on Applications for Technology of Information and Communication in 2019. And the previous one was the camera control for shot selection in Machinima Generated Animation, published on the Journal of Theoretical and Applied IT in 2016. So without further ado, I give time and screen for Pak Delta to start his talk or his presentation. Please, Pak. I stop share. You can now do the stop share.
Thank you, Mr. Adi, for your brief introduction for me. Good morning, everybody. I hope all of you in a good health condition. So let me share my screen first. Okay. I think all of you can see my slide right now.
Yes, I can. Anyone? Can you?
Yeah, we can as well.
Yes,
Okay. Good.
Okay, thank you. So in this morning, I would like to talk about IoT in dealing with COVID-19. Okay, so before we start to my slide, I would like to show a video from YouTube so all of you can understand what is IoT means. Okay.
The Internet of Things, or IoT, is influencing our lifestyle from the way we react to the way we behave. From air conditioners that you can control with your smartphone, to smart cars providing the shortest route, or your smartwatch which is tracking your daily activity. IoT is a giant network with connected devices. These devices gather and share data about how they're used and the environment in which they're operated. It's all done using sensors. Sensors are embedded in every physical device. It can be your mobile phone, electrical appliances, vehicles, barcode sensors, traffic lights, and almost everything that you come across in day-to-day life. These sensors continuously emit data about the working state of the devices. But the important question is, How do they share this huge amount of data, and how do we put this data to our benefit? IoT provides a common platform for all these devices to dump their data and a common language for all the devices to communicate with each other. Data is emitted from various sensors and sent to IoT platforms securely. IoT platform integrates the collected data from various sources. Further analytics is performed on the data, and valuable information is extracted as per requirement. Finally, the result is shared with other devices for better user experience, automation, and improving efficiency. Let us look at a scenario where IoT is doing wonders. In an AC manufacturing industry, both the manufacturing machine and the belt have sensors attached. They continuously send data regarding the machine health and the production specifics to the manufacturer to identify issues beforehand. A barcode is attached to each product before leaving the belt. It contains the product code, manufacturer details, special instructions, etc. The manufacturer uses this data to identify where the product was distributed and track the retailer's inventory. Hence, the manufacturer can make the product running out of stock available. Next, these products are packed and parceled to different retailers. Each retailer has a barcode reader to track the products coming from different manufacturers, manage inventory, check special instructions, and many more. The compressor of air conditioner has an embedded sensor that emits data regarding its health and temperature. This data is analyzed continuously, allowing the customer care to contact you for the repair work in time. This is just one of the million scenarios. We have smart appliances, smart cars, smart homes, smart cities, where IoT is redefining our lifestyle and transforming the way we interact with technologies. The future of IoT industry is huge. Business Insider Intelligence estimates that 24 billion IoT devices will be installed by 2020, and IDC predicts that IoT revenue will reach around 357 billion in 2019, resulting in a lot of job opportunities in the IT industry. Want to become a part of the IoT revolution? Come and master IoT with Edureka.
Okay. I think that's the explanation about IoT. So basically, we heard before that IoT has a component. So let's talk first about the major component of IoT. First, we have things or device. Okay. So we call this smart device and sensors or device connectivity. So device and sensors are the component of device connectivity layer. So this smart sensor, like we saw in the video, the previous video, are continuously collecting data. They are collecting data from the environment and also transmit the information to the next layer. Okay, to the next layer. So what is the next layer? Of course, it's a network layer. So the latest technique in the semiconductor technology is capable of producing micro smart sensor for various applications. For examples, common sensors are, for example, first temperature sensors, okay, and then pressure sensors, humidity, light intensity, moisture, proximity, and also RFID tag. So how the devices are connected? So most of the modern smart device and sensor can be connected to low power what is called wireless network. For example, I think you know, like low power wireless network including Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Zigbee, and etc. So each of this wireless technology has its own pros and cons in terms of power, and then in terms of the data transfer rate, and also overall efficiency. So the development in the low power and then low cost for wireless transmitting device are promising in the area of IoT. First, because it's long life battery and efficiency. Okay, so like now, like the latest protocol, yeah. For example, IPv6 over low power wireless network has been adapted by many companies to implement energy efficiency for IoT networks. Okay, next, after the things, device or sensor, we need the gateway. What is a gateway? So the IoT gateway used for manage the bi-directional data traffic between different networks and protocol. Okay. Another function of a gateway is to translate different network protocol and make sure the interoperability of the connected device and sensor. Okay. Then gateway can be what's called configured to perform pre-processing of collected data. For example, if we talk about collecting data, one of that I already made are how to, for example, collect the information of the water nutrition in the what's called hydroponics. And then when I get the data, I use the Wi-Fi to transmit over the cloud, so I can analyze the data. Okay, this is how the gateway works. So gateway, of course, because it's a media from the sensors to the cloud, it also need to be secure. Okay, so because the data can be sniffed by hacker or something to get our data, so we need protection in the gateway. Okay, after the things are collected, we use the gateway to transfer to the cloud, and the cloud, basically the Internet of Things create massive of data from the device. So they collect data from the device, of course. Also application and users. So the cloud offer tools to collect, process, manage, and also store the huge amount of data in real time. Okay, so industries and service can easily access this data remotely and make critical decisions when it is necessary. So basically, IoT cloud is a sophisticated high-performance network of server optimized to perform the high-speed data processing of billions of devices, and then manage the traffic, also deliver accurate analytic. After the sensor or collect data, then transfer to the gateway, and then from the gateway it's stored to the cloud for further analysis and processing in the analytic. The last one, of course, the user interface. So for example, when I get the data from the water nutrition in hydroponics, what should I do? Should I increase the water volume, or should I put more nutrition? It's done in the user interface. Okay, that's the, I think the major IT component. We need the things or the device, the gateway, cloud, data analytic, and also user interface. Okay. Like now, let's talk how IoT works. Okay. So just like the internet has changed, the way we work and communicate with each other by connecting to the WWW or World Wide Web, IoT also aims to take this connectivity to another level by connecting multiple devices at a time. For example, smart home, connecting lamp, refrigerator, air conditioner, security system, web camera. So it aims to this connectivity to the another level by connecting multiple devices at a time to the internet, thereby facilitating man to machine and machine to machine interaction. Okay, so IoT realize that the IoT ecosystem is not limited to a particular field, but has business application and area, for example, like home automation, vehicle automation, factory automation, medical, retail, healthcare, and more. So if we talk about IoT, so there are so many fields related. Okay. Okay, that's how IoT works. So from the sensors, the gateway, the cloud, and the user interface. Okay. So today I would like to talk about IoT in dealing with COVID-19 in two sectors. The first one is for healthcare. The next one are education. So I just want to talk about these two fields, healthcare and education. What can we do by using IoT for healthcare and education? Okay. The first one, this is from paper that I read from Sings in the Journal of Diabetes and Metabolic Syndrome, Clinical Research and Review in 2020. Yeah. So process involved in IoT for COVID-19, the first one is for reduce chance of mistake, and then lesser expense, enhanced diagnostic, effective control, and superior treatment. So from the paper, so it's thought that IoT is an innovative technology, innovative technology platform to fight COVID-19, okay, and can fulfill significant challenge during the lockdown, for example. This technology it's helpful to capture the real-time data and other necessary information of the infected patient. Okay. In the first step, IoT is used to capture health data from various locations of the infected patient and manage all the data using virtual management system. So by using IoT, we can collect massive amount of data in real time. So that's how we need IoT. So basically, by using IoT, we can ensure that all of the infected person due to virus are quarantined. During the quarantines, it's helpful for a proper monitoring system. So all high-risk patients are tracked easily using internet-based network, and then also this technology can be used for the biometric measurement, for example, like blood pressure, heartbeat, and also the glucose level. Okay, so this is the five process that involved in IoT for fighting the COVID-19. Okay, so as discussed before, the IoT concept utilize the internet network for the effective flow and exchange of data. Also, it also enables the social worker, the patient, the civilians to be in connection with the service, okay, and avoid the pandemic, I think. So by using IoT, we can, of course, reduce the chance of mistakes, reduce the cost, enhance diagnosis, effective control, and also we can give the patient superior treatment. This is also from the same paper. So this is the process chart for executing IoT. For example, the first one is to get the health data from remote location. Okay, after the data are gathered, then we can manage by the virtual management. For example, like meeting and also communication, and then we use the data for analysis and control. And the last one is to follow up the report. Okay, so this make the we can easily manage the pandemic by using the IoT. For examples, this is the major application of IoT for COVID-19. The first one, we can use internet connected hospital, okay, and then inform the concerned medical staff during any emergency, transparent COVID-19 treatment, automated treatment process, and also telehealth consultation. So if we talk about internet connected hospital, first we need to understand that we need to implement all IoT device to support the pandemic. Okay, for example, we put the sensors to monitor the patient temperature. Okay, we also make sure that the internet connection is stable, because if we talk about IoT, Internet of Things, of course, we need a good internet connection. Okay. Also, for examples, rapid screening. We can use IoT device for rapid screening. So if we use, for example, connected device to, for example, to capture or collect the blood samples or something like that, we can rapidly screening the patient data, and also identify innovative solution. For example, IoT can be used for example, there let's call what is called flood. Yeah, there is a flood, natural disaster. We can use IoT to, for example, for determine which location are safe from the flood to make the emergency pause for transfer the supplies for the victim. Okay, that's for these examples. But yeah, it also have some issues and challenge. The first one, safety and security, and also privacy of the data. It can lead to the misuse of patient data, cybercrime case, and also process of data aggregation. So besides IoT is very helpful, yeah, it also have some issues in challenge in implementing IoT for COVID-19. For like I said before, we need to concern about the safety, the security, and the privacy of data. And also challenge in network integration, because somehow in the different area, the connection of the internet is also not in the same status. There is some good internet connection. There are also area that doesn't have an internet connection. So we need to think about these two terms in the case of data privacy and network integrations. Okay. This is the IoT hardware and software in detail. For example, we can use wearable body sensor. For example, I know if you have an Apple Watch can detect if you fall or heart rate. Now, if you use Apple Watch, it's meant that you already use IoT device. And then by using Apple Watch, if you suddenly fall, then your phone will call your, for example, your family. That's, for example, how the IoT works. Okay. Of course, we need the wearable body sensors and internet connected gateway. For example, if we talk about by using some smartwatch, of course, our phone or our smartphone became the internet connected gateway to transfer the data to the cloud. So the devices are not directly connected to the internet, but it needs use the internet gateway. For example, by using smartwatch that connect to your phone, then your phone make connection to the cloud and big data supports. Okay. But if there is any question, is there any device or sensor that can connect directly to the internet? Of course, no. We need the gateway. Okay. For example, if you have, for example, a smart refrigerator or smart air conditioning, of course, it needs to be connected to your Wi-Fi first. Then we can manage the things. That's why we need the internet connected gateway. Okay, so this is the, like I said before, the major component: the device or the things, the gateway, the cloud. So it's connected together to make the IoT happens. Okay. Next, this is the, for example, the connected medical device. For example, this is the process from the R&D, research and development, and then manufacture, and then distribution. This is the flow of the connected medical device from R&D and also from to the customer service. For example, for R&D, it's develop better product, faster, informed by master data, and then the manufacturing, they manage the equipment remotely using appropriate KPI and reduce machine downtime. For distribution, enable advanced product tracking. For patient at home, for example, aggregate and collect data from disparate medical device, and then monitor the device in the healthcare provider, and then the last one is the customer service. Anticipate medical device maintenance and alert patient to schedule a doctor and for replacement, for examples. Okay, this is the example of IoT in the healthcare by Philips. So many devices right now, many companies that produce
What patient care challenges do you face today? Are you looking to simplify life for a clinical staff stretched to the limit? Remove complexity as a barrier to faster decision-making. Reduce variability in care delivery. Integrate emerging technologies with your IT systems and EMR. No matter what your challenges, they all revolve around your ability to watch over your patients and provide the best care possible wherever it takes place. Philips Patient Monitoring is more than a network of bedside and mobile devices strung together and connected to a central station. It's an integrated solution that fits securely into your hospital's IT environment to help drive clinical and economic outcomes. It captures a steady stream of patient data from monitors and medical devices, then feeds it automatically to your EMR for virtually gap-free patient records from admission to discharge, even during transport. Philips Patient Monitoring solution taps the power of advanced clinical decision support tools to help you detect the onset of critical events like sepsis and pneumonia, so clinicians can make informed care decisions. And it gives on-the-move caregivers virtually anywhere, anytime visibility to a patient's vital signs, waveforms, and alarms, so they can communicate and collaborate to decide on the best course of care and the right caregiver to provide it. Philips bedside, transport, and mobile monitors all share the same interface to reduce complexity, minimize training, and support the consistent delivery of quality care at every level of acuity. Plus, this comprehensive patient monitoring solution works with your current IT system to help you make the most of your investment, while risk-based defense in-depth security helps protect the privacy of patients and integrity of data. Philips works with you right from the start and at every stage of ownership to help you customize and standardize your patient monitoring solution to your hospital, your protocols, and your people. Philips Patient Monitoring is a total solution designed around your challenges and backed by ongoing consulting, training, service, and support to help you achieve your clinical and economic goals, so you can confidently deliver quality care everywhere it matters. At Philips, there is always a way to make life better. Innovation and you, Philips.
Okay, that's one from Philips. This is the Aruba.
The rise of the Internet of Things has potentially life-saving applications within the healthcare industry. By collecting data from bedside devices, viewing patient information, and diagnosing in real time, the entire system of patient care could be improved. Not to mention the patient experience. By 2090, 87% of all healthcare organizations will have implemented IoT technology. But today, many healthcare devices operate in silos. Over a third of healthcare organizations don't apply data from connected devices to other business processes. An issue that creates inefficiency, potential for data loss, and mistakes in diagnosis. Effective healthcare depends on speed and accuracy, and we have seen a huge range of devices becoming connected as IoT takes hold. Over 50% of devices on healthcare networks in the next 2 years will be IoT devices. Like those you see here, from handheld devices to health records to medical equipment, the industry is embracing the world of connected things. With a common language and a single platform for these devices to operate, the potential for IoT is limitless. For caregivers, the ability to easily monitor and manage patient health can save precious minutes every day. Without having to manually visit each patient, the expert can give a remote diagnosis and track medical assets, providing quality care more quickly and managing the healthcare environment more efficiently. Using sensors and Wi-Fi, the ability to locate the right department in a hospital while retrieving essential information becomes straightforward for both caregivers and patients. Nearly 3/4 of healthcare leaders who have adopted IoT believe its key benefit will be to monitor and control medical devices and sensors. From patient heart monitors to temperature gauges, this real-time data already exists in healthcare. And now it can be used to create a safer and more effective environment. Through a single application on a mobile
Good morning,
device,
brother.
and staff can securely manage IoT data. IoT means an easier and more efficient patient care experience, allowing staff to do their jobs. 70% of care leaders predict it's going to transform the industry.
Okay, thank you. That's the IoT in healthcare, yeah, for fighting pandemic. For example, like I said before, yeah. Okay, right now we're gonna talk about the IoT in education. For example, during the pandemic in fighting COVID-19. So basically, if we talk about IoT in education to fighting the pandemic, is to avoid the first the social distancing, and also we made sure that all of our students are in a good health condition. But right now, I think all of the campus in Surabaya right now is doing the learning from home. So what can IoT provide that in the term of the pandemic? Okay, first we can talk about the smart school office, smart school transportation, building management, smart student health, smart classroom, smart STEAM lab, and then smart cafeteria and student activity tracking. So all of these terms, I think, can help us to avoid the COVID-19. So let's talk about IoT enabled classroom cycle. So basically, if we talk about the IoT enabled classroom, yeah, it consists of this, what is called cycle. So action, yeah, it's monitoring by the sensors that connected to the network. Then we need to communicate and aggregate. And also the last one is to analyze the result by using machine augmented intelligence. It's I took this from the paper by Pervez in Proceeding of ADVET 2018. So it talk about how IoT can help us, not through the pandemic, but right now I think it's the best solution. For example, if we need to take the attendance list, for example, we use paper. We use paper to sign. We can change that by using IoT, by using our student card to sign the attendance list by using IoT connected device. That's the first example. We can use a card that utilize the RFID tag inside that, and then we just tap on the machine. It's avoid touching. For example, the next one is automatically open the door if there are some person around it. So by using IoT and connected device, we can avoid, for example, touch the metal. We already know that the coronavirus is stay at metal longer than for example, the paper. We can avoid that. For example, again, we can use that to screening. So right now we usually use a thermogun. Each staff or each student are scanned first by using thermogun. How about if we use for example, like a gateway, and then put the sensor right there, and also put the disinfectant that safe for human. If we pass through, it collect our temperature data, store in the cloud, and also by using that we can get the information about all of our staff in campus. So we can analyze how many, for example, the staff or the student have a body temperature, for example, like that. So it can efficiently help us to fighting during the pandemic. So that's why we need to enable the IoT style in classroom. So IT, I think it's shaping the way how higher education is evolved with international researchers. So we need to propose the use of AI. So IoT, we can support the IoT by using the artificial intelligence. So to improve the learning and teaching and education, for example, like that. So some of the campuses that I know, they utilize the camera. It's some of the research that they put the camera in the classroom. For what? To analyze the emotion of the student, because I think the emotional reaction is needed to analyze that, for example, that our topic is, for example, too hard for certain people or too boring. Now, by using that, the teachers and also the academic staff can understand how to deliver a good material to the students. So by using IoT, for example, we put in the camera in the classroom and then analyze our face when the lectures tell the topic. It analyze our face reaction and something like that. And then we can also, so for example, this topic is, I think we need to improve in some of the aspect like that. So by implementing the AI in IoT, of course, the last product is the tailored learning. So tailored learning is specified for each student, so they will understand how they perceive the material or the topic, something like that. So, for example, like right now, we can use IoT for create, for example, collect data at home. For example, if we need to create a lab activity, we can use IoT to gather the data. Okay. Next. So this is the IoT and education examples. Let's watch together. cyber at school. Next video, I want to show you IoT in higher education. Future University from
With
HP.
the IoT revolution in full swing, technology is enriching the world of education. The future's here, so it's time to ask, is your campus smart enough? Hewlett-Packard Enterprise has a broad history in higher education. We understand the challenges and disruption facing universities today. As your partner, we can help you evolve learning, power research, and maximize resources wherever you are on your journey to the cloud or digital transformation. How? By helping you design a more intelligent campus. This campus is mobile first, offering anytime, anywhere geolocation for wayfinding and personal notifications. It's secure, with a command and control center to manage your facilities safely and efficiently. Within its walls, you'll find a smarter breed of labs, sports venues, common rooms, and lecture halls. And in these, you'll find students learning with the support of a rich digital platform that tracks attendance, grades, and sentiment to help spot at-risk individuals. Powerful IT underpins everything here, offering rapid throughput for analysis of complex data sets, easy cross-departmental sharing, and the flexibility to meet fast-changing development requirements. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise is making intelligent campuses like this a reality today. We make hybrid IT simple with as-a-service consumption models, a global partner ecosystem, and platforms from edge to core to cloud. Our solutions are wide-ranging, offering the agile IT foundation you need to create new services faster and provide a student experience that improves outcomes and satisfaction to power a campus that's safe, efficient, rewarding, and fun. All of which sounds pretty smart, doesn't it?
Okay, I think that's all that I can share with you today. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Pak Delta.
Okay, thank you.
For your presentation. After this, we will continue with the question and answer. Please don't forget to type your questions in chat room. But let me give a brief conclusion or summary of what Pak Delta said. I think we all know that every day we use our mobile phone. We use our, I don't wear Apple Watch, but everyone or someone of us may have smartwatch. And then we also have a smart card. That are all the example of the Internet of Things. Meaning that Internet of Things is actually a device or any devices that we can connect with the Internet, and then it will be gathered into an IoT platform. Is that correct, Pak? Right?
Yes.
So we collect data from our real daily life using the sensor that is embedded on our devices. And then we put the sensor or we scan the barcode, then it will read or provide us with the data. And the data itself will be continued or proceed and gathered into the IoT platform. So that's all about the IoT itself. So I think all of us have any smart devices, but perhaps some of us do not know that it is the Internet of Things that can connect us directly and real time with the Internet and provide data. And Internet of Things is actually collecting, transmitting, storing, processing, and analyzing the data. Right? After from the device, from the sensor, then we can collect, then it will be transmitted to the IoT from, then it will be stored, and it will be processed and analyzed into the data that we might need. And then Dr. Delta also mentioned about some challenges besides the benefits of having IoT nowadays, he also mentioned about the challenges. The example related to the COVID-19 is the misuse of data patient. And then another example was about the cybercrime. And then in the last part of his presentation, he also briefly mentioned about, because we are in education, we are all students, you are all students, and we are academicians. That's why he also mentioned briefly about the education and how IoT contributes to help the advancement of education, not only for higher education like us as the university academicians or community, but also for the tertiary education. So I think that's all about what Pa Delta said on his presentation. Then I now open the question and answer. Please once again type your questions on the chat room. Then I will help to convey the questions to Dr. Delta, and he will be glad to answer all of your questions related to the IoT or technology. First question from Sandrax from Lyceum University Batangas, Philippines. How does automating certain process prepare us for the future pandemic? So this is about the technology. How does perhaps the current technology contributes to the future pandemic? Not the COVID one, but the future one.
Okay. So I answered the question, or we wait another question first, Mr. Adi?
No, I will read one by one and you can directly answer it.
Okay, so for the first question from Sandra, how does automating
Certain processes
prepare us for the future pandemic? Okay, let me think first. So, for examples, okay. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about this. So, how by using IoT or for the automating process can prepare us for the future pandemic? I think first, so pandemics, yeah, like I recall or I remember that if we talk about the coronavirus, is spread from Wuhan, yeah, from Wuhan, China. So I think in my opinion, first we need to preparation. For example, we analyze the what is called the symptoms. For example, the symptoms of the pandemic, and we record that, and for example, we transmit the data over the cloud. So other hospital that, for example, share or connected through the internet for the virtual management, for example, like that, can analyze if certain patient, for example, meet the symptoms or the criteria, it can warn us about, for example, the new pandemic. Because I also has a project in the hospital that I manage all of the patient data for the MIS or for the management information system. We can know or we can track the patient record. So if we have, for example, the symptoms, then we can match to our patient records. And then if the certain criteria are met, then we can, for example, we can quarantine the suspected patient. So we can avoid pandemic early or prevent us from the outbreak of the pandemics. I think that one of the automating certain process that prepare us for the future pandemic. So for example, we share the criteria of the symptoms, and then we match to the patient data or patient records, or the, for example, the medical records. If the certain patient met the same criteria, we can put them into the quarantine to provide the upcoming outbreak, for example, like that.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Delta. And that's the answer, Sandrex. Then another question from Randy. Hello, Dr. Delta. In the Philippines, there is a proposed national ID, but there are many reservations or apprehension due to the privacy issues. How about in Indonesia? Is there already a national ID system? What are the safety nets to protect data security and privacy?
Okay, national ID system, I think it means like the eKTP, right, Mr. Adi?
Yeah, I think so. Is that correct, Randy? That's the E, right? You mean E, right?
Yes, E. Yes.
E national ID, Randy, right?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
privacy issue is, I think, the most concerns issue right now. So in Indonesia, I think almost all of us has the electronic, for example, ID. In Indonesia, it's called
eKTP.
eKTP or electronic itu tanda penduduk. So Indonesia also implement the eKTP, but currently now I don't understand what the data are stored in our card. So yeah, I think right now Indonesia is not concerned about that security. I think, yeah, because right now we usually use our ID physically, not digitally, in Indonesia right now.
Yeah, just to add that in Indonesia, we have a e-national ID. It is called the eKTP. But as Pak Delta mentioned, we don't think that inside that card, there is a data or the card can be connected with the devices, because it is called E, but it looks like the normal card. But fortunately, the eKTP is everlasting for us, so we don't need to renew. Then, yeah, that's why Dr. Delta said that he also had hesitant or reluctant, and he also not sure whether the eKTP e-card is electronic or really electronic or just a normal card. That is the problem.
Yep.
As an information, previously we have a normal card, so it was called only the KTP or the national card, and for that card we need to extend it every 5 years.
Yeah.
But after the national card, we don't need to do so. So that's why I don't think Indonesian people are care whether it can be connected with the data or not. I mean the card, but benefit that we think is we don't need to extend it anymore. Previously, we need to go and reapply every 5 years, which is takes some time. So that's the reality in Indonesia. That's correct, Pak Delta, right?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. In Philippines, we expect that you still use the normal card, right?
Yes.
And then you Philippines plan to have the e-national card, right? Is that correct, Randy? Okay. Okay, then the next question is from Debasis Kundu. Thank you for your compliment, Debasis. I've been working with an organization called CLAM. It is the LMS using artificial intelligence and real-time data analysis. For the Asia subcontinent, do you think you can break the barrier of internet connection and digital devices, which is necessary for digital learning? You know, all the people don't have the device to be part of IoT. So it is about the...
Okay, thank you for the question. I think when I was in Japan, some of my research friends also discussed the topic. So the question is, all the people don't have the device to be the part of IoT, and we talk about digital learning. So in my friend's research for PhD in Japan, it basically the research about how LMS, for example, learning management system like Moodle, can be implemented in phone that, like not like today's phone, but for example, that phone that only have GPRS just to send message. So my friend research is working. So they develop some of learning management system based on Facebook. So I think all of us maybe has a Facebook, but my friend's research is try to make a module for Facebook to perform LMS, because my friend's country are in the remote island in the Pacific Ocean. So how? Because in my friend's country, the internet is also not so good. So how? I think yes, we can break the barrier of internet connection. So the research is also how, for example, how to reduce the data transmit for learning management system. How we manage the bandwidth if we want to play video, how the bandwidth or the video quality are reduces, but still can be watched by using smartphone with low internet access for something like that. So we also research about that, how we can manage or we can bridging some area with good internet connection and some area with doesn't have a good internet connection. So we also doing research about that. The answer, yes, we can break the barrier by developing some module that can perform in the, for example, low-tech device and also can be used in high-tech devices.
Okay.
Yep.
Another question from Sandrax. What kind of technologies should we use or bet when we are going back to work?
What kind of technology should we bet on going back to works? So, yeah, I think, for example, if we work in a company, it will need our fingerprint to scan, right? Somehow, we can replace that by using face scanner, for examples. And then we can also have, right now, we're doing Zoom meetings to avoid people gathering around. So I think we can use any technologies that support our task in work. So for example, like that I already implement in some, I work with the government projects to, how to create attendance list for something like that by not using our, for example, our fingerprint. We can use our face for face recognition, something like that, for make a digital signing, something like that. So I think we need to employ any technology that we can use after we going back to works. Yeah.
Okay. Then another question from Randy. We already have an anti-terrorism law, but the activists and civil society groups are worried they might get tagged and get charges. How about in Indonesia? Do you also have similar law? What can we learn from Japan data security and privacy protection?
I think Mr. Ade can help me answer this about the anti-terrorism law.
Okay. I think we better answer the technology one first, the Japan.
Yeah. So yes, I think we can learn from Japan and privacy protection, because I think people in Japan very, very strict about privacy. Okay, so what can we learn from Japan, for example? First, yeah, we need to what it's called. We need to discipline. Okay, for example, we need to take a discipline. For example, yeah, if you install something, on your device, you first need to read the agreement first. Okay, but somehow all of us just click agree, and agree, but you don't know what happened with that application. Are they send your private data for them, for example, for targeting advertising? Yeah, so yes, at first I think we need to be disciplined like Japan. Now if we can discipline, of course, yeah, we can avoid, for example, like misuse of information, misuse of data, and for example, like our data is being, for example, being sniffed by hackers or something like that. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but anti-terrorism law, because I'm also not a law people, then in Indonesia, it is not much on debate about that anti-terrorism because besides the COVID-19 pandemic condition, people in Indonesia much more talking about hoax news or the ICT law rather than anti-terrorism law. That's why, frankly, I and also Dr. Delta are not familiar with the anti-terrorism law. And then we also, but we know that there is a Indonesian regulation that administers about the anti-terrorism law. We are reading more or much on the anti-hoax law or ICT law rather than the anti-terrorism because the media publish more about that hoaxes one. That's why, yeah, really sorry for that one about the anti-terrorism law, Randy, because both of us are not from the law. Okay. Debasis Kundu, he asked your email address, Pak, if it is allowed.
Okay, I already sent to him.
Okay. Then, thank you for the compliment, Randy. Another question from Andrew. How vulnerable is IoT and which form of implementation do you think is more efficient and sustainable? Between modular or one fixed complex system?
Okay, so my answer of this, how vulnerable is IoT? I think the IoT use some of the protocol. So if we want to make sure that our system are secure, first we need to use the protocol that have more security aspect. We need to use the SSL for something like that. And also, which one is more efficient and sustain, modular on one fix? I think in my experience, the modular is more efficient because if we need to add or to remove some of part, it's easy because when I create the packets of the IoT devices, I basically use the modular one because if some of the sensors are broken, I can easily replace. So that's the answer. I think the modular one is more efficient and sustained because if we use the fixed complete system, so if one sensor or one module are broken, we need to change all of the things. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Then question from Randy, is there any proliferation of fake news? Yes, in Indonesia we have a regulation for ITE, information and electric, right? Yeah, electronic information and transaction, and then under this law, it administers about the hoax news. And in Indonesia, I think it is quite strict because police and also even the army work together, also intelligence work together to punish or give some punishment for those who publish some hoax news. They will trace, if they have the social media, they will trace who is the perpetrator or the actor behind that hoax news, and then they will catch and put them in jail. So it is quite strict. Even though even though we are quite strict, but hoax news are still many in Indonesia. Is that correct, Pak? If you want to add something.
No, I think it's enough.
Okay. Then Sandra questions, how can IoT help us in a scenario of prolonged social distancing? Okay.
Okay. Oh,
Related to the social distancing.
Prolonged social distancing, IoT. Okay. Let me think about that first. Yeah. Yeah, how can IoT help us in a scenario of prolonged social distancing? So I think right now, if the scenario of the prolonged of social distancing, I think first we need to make sure that our device or our things or our sensors are connected to internet. First, we need to make sure the internet connectivity. Okay, so how can it help? For example, we need to create a system that can monitor how work from home, for example, are examined. For example, if learning from home, are the students are really take the course or just turn on the Zoom and then turn off the camera and then sleep? We need to make sure that we can analyze those data. Okay, so if the social distancing are prolonged, I think IoT can help us, for example, to monitor our health in home. For example, like I said before, the smart device that connected to the cloud that monitor our health. For example, the first is something like that, and then the second one in academics. Yeah, we need to make sure that our student or our worker are doing their job at home by any means of use of the IoT.
Okay. This is on top of what Andrew asked previously about the modular. But in most cases, making it modular would make it more vulnerable, doesn't it?
Yeah, thank you. I think that's a good question. So, by any means, the modular system, yeah. But in my experience, I create the IoT module inside a package that, yeah, for example, the package can be open like we build PC or desktop PC. I think the PC is modular because we can change our memory, we can change our graphic card, we can change our power supply, but we need to secure it container itself. So we need to create a container or containment that our device are not easily broken in terms of from outside scenario broken, for example, by water or by falling down or something like that. But if we're vulnerable in the term of the privacy or the data, we need to make sure the gateways and the cloud are secure. Okay, thank you, Andrew, Dave, for your questions.
Okay, Andrew is from India, from Hindustan University, India. Any more questions before we come to the conclusion of class 3 by Dr. Delta? Sandrex just add his opinion. Yes, IoT is not a question of replacing workers, but making processes safer, more efficient, and more productive would be the priority. Okay. Okay. Okay, if there is no more questions, then thank you guys for joining class 3. Thank you, Dr. Delta, for your inspiring session.
Thank
And
you.
we are all know about the IoT now. Thank you. Perhaps Pak Delta would like to say something or
Okay, thank you for your attention and good questions. I hope you stay healthy and in good condition and keep learning.
oh, one more question, last one.
Oh, one more question. Okay.
How far AI integrated with IoT, Pak?
Oh, AR with augmented reality.
Yes. With IoT, AR with
Yeah. How
yeah,
far
with
is
IoT.
augmented integrated with IoT? So I think right now some of the companies try to integrate the IoT with AR, but somehow IoT device is low power. So the research right now is how to make the AR can be used in low power device, because as you know, AR use the camera to capture the scene and process the data. So the idea is how we process those information using small power and low power devices. So that's the integration. If it's okay, then the AR can be implemented with IoT. But somehow right now, for example, I already made some IoT device to recognize the scene for the plant's health, the color of the leaves. I just take the picture and send the picture over the internet, and it's analyzed in the cloud. It works, but I haven't implemented the AR to the IoT. But for computer vision, I already tried with IoT device and it worked. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Dr. Delta. Okay, guys. So we will meet in the next 1.5 hours, which is around 1 o'clock. Now, please have your happy lunch. Enjoy your lunch and see you. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, sir.
Thank you.